Welcome back. Thank you very much for staying with us. Now, 4 suspects linked to a 37 million rand fraud investigation at Mhlathuze Water are expected to apply for bail today. They will appear in the Specialised Commercial Crimes Court in Durban. They include the Director General in the KwaZulu-Natal Premier's office, as well as the former CEO of Mhlathuze Water. Others were granted bail yesterday. eNCA's Dasen Thathiah is covering that story and joins us yet again. Dasen, proceedings are expected to get underway soon. Have you perhaps spotted any family members or supporters of those that are appearing?
Not as many today, Mfundo. So those proceedings are slightly delayed. We were told that it would get underway early this morning, so at least by 9 o'clock, but we're told now that it should happen within the next hour. But if yesterday is anything to go by, there's no guarantee, because this matter only sat in the afternoon yesterday. I think it was after 2, if not 3 o'clock. So there are some significant delays in getting it going. But one of those bail applications was heard yesterday. You know that 2 of the accused there were granted bail, the CFO getting 60,000, and then the administrator in this matter, Thabiso Khumalo, he got 5,000 rand bail. So it's the other 4 now that we'll be watching closely to see the outcome. What's interesting here is that this bail is opposed by the state. Obviously, as you know, among those 4 is the Director General in the Premier's office, Mhlathuze. So she, as well as the others, would have spent their second night behind bars yesterday while waiting for this bail application. But Mfundo, while we are waiting, I wanted to reflect on something and just kind of paint a picture of how all of this went down. It's a typical South African story of corruption. So you have very senior members of an entity, of a company, in this case the CEO and the CFO. They then appoint a service provider of their choice, in this case Stembelo Mhlanga, and a lawyer who was responsible for a lot of the legal work. He was on a panel of about 15 other legal representatives as well. And that work that was coming from Mhlathuze Water was meant to be split among all of them, but that wasn't the case. Allegedly, about 80% of that work went to Mhlanga, and he benefited about 30 million rand over that period of time that he was doing this. I was telling you earlier that some of that work, 21 million rands worth of it, was apparently done in just 64 days. So the processes were skewed. They were manipulated allegedly by the CFO and the CEO to ensure that the work was channeled to Mhlanga, and it was also an opportunity for that money to be processed there. In the papers, in the court documents, it's said that Mhlanga's business or his practice was used as a conduit to send that money through. So very interesting. In total, as you mentioned, just over 37 million rand that we are talking about here. But it's important to note that this is an investigation that is still ongoing.
And what has been the sentiment of other political parties or some members of civil society that you would have engaged with following the arrest? Because there seemed that many welcomed these arrests actually in KZN.
No, they do. And, you know, in talking to political parties, they are now calling for a shake-up of the entire board. So they want an investigation done. They want to look into the board as a whole to see if there are any other officials that may be corrupt, or, you know, if there should be lifestyle audits that are done. So that's a general sentiment. I mean, the NFP was directly calling the other day for that board to be completely dismantled. They're saying that there's absolutely no need. I guess that ties in with the sentiments of the Water and Sanitation Minister, not in terms of the corruption, but in terms of unifying that board, or adding it to the Umgeni Water Board that we have, saying that there's no need for 2 of them. So it's certainly an opportunity now, after seeing these arrests, to relook at that, because if you look at the type of money that was moving through Mhlathuze Water into these channels, I mean, it really raises a lot of questions about where else that money could have been used to provide the very essential service that a water board does.
And there are lots of services that are needed. Thank you very much, Dasen. We'll leave it there for now. That's senior reporter Dasen Thathiah.